Hi there everyone, and hope you guys are doing good. I wanted to make this video not as a reflection of what is happening right now, but I've seen a lot of people put a lot of things on social media, and very honestly I'm very kind of surprised. um, I'm kind of shocked at what people are putting up and how something can go so viral for all the wrong reasons. I would not talk about what happened to this actor. We all know about it. It's on the news. It's an unfortunate thing that happened, and it's something that shocked everyone in the nation. Everybody is talking about it. There are stories, rumors, and things going around here and there. And I've also put up a lot of things about it in the last, yesterday and today. Without talking about all that, let's just start talking about mental health in the first place. I have been very vocal about it since a few years now. I suffered through depression around 5 years ago, and I have to say that was the darkest phase of my life. It was something I can't even imagine being there again, and it still affects me to this very day. I think mental health overall is a very wrongly notioned thing in our society. People in our country have always thought of mental health as being something shameful. It was, and it will be, and it is still a very taboo topic when families are talking about it, when people around you, your relatives, your family is talking about it. It's always something that you want to shush up. You don't want to talk about it. It's a secret. It may be an open secret, but people like to keep mum on it. It's not something to joke about or make fun of, which our culture does very openly, and culture around the world does it very openly. So I'm not going to only blame us. It's everywhere around. First thing I want to say is that even people who are putting up stories about, please approach me, please call me whenever you want to, I'm there for your help, and just call me at any point of the time and I'll help you out, I'll listen to you. Okay, that's the biggest joke. Nobody understands your position as a person who has a mental health issue more than you do, and that's the truth, period. Okay, no one understands it. You can have the best of buddies and friends around you, and even they don't understand it, because it's a very different state of mind. It is not something as simple as being angry on a situation, or as simple as being frustrated on something that's happening in the life. Because sometimes what happens is we are frustrated with things that are happening around us. We can be frustrated or get triggered due to a lot of different things. And we kind of go ahead, we share our stories with our loved ones, our families or relatives or friends, and they kind of console us, they help us out, and they listen. But mental health is a very different issue. It's not as simple, and I don't understand how people, without knowing anything, have the audacity to say that a person who has died of suicide is a coward. I can't even fathom the audacity that people have in saying these things without even understanding what it means. I'll be very honest. At the point of time when I was facing and I was going through depression myself, I was suicidal. Yes, I was. I did not ever project it in public. Yes, I never did it. I was with my family at that point of time. I wasn't surrounded with too many friends. I've always been a very introvert person since childhood. Since my school days, if I remember, I only had a couple of few friends, if I had that too at a very later stage of my school life. Since the initial times or the initial days of my school, I never really had many friends. I was not among the popular people. I was not the pretty one. I was not the rank holder. I was isolated throughout my school life. I've had friends, very few friends, maybe one or two with whom I would interact, but I was pretty isolated. So maybe towards the end of my high school, when around 11, 12, I became very studious, and I made sure that I went ahead and became a rank holder. At that point of time, people would come and talk to me, but I had become very closed by then, and I would not really open up to people. It was something of my space had become very small, and it was only limited to my family members and just myself. But you know what, I'm not really bitter about it now, because it's okay, things happen in your school. But during my college days, things just turned completely in my favor, because I had a very big group of friends, and it was like a family thing. We were very close, and we would have fun. The college life that I had was one of the most precious time of my life, and I felt so loved. So I felt so it was like being at home, it was that good. And even then I was closed up, but that's fine. I had people I would talk about my feelings to and my issues with, and they would listen to me, and that was a very comforting feel. But once I graduated and I went ahead into a prestigious institution, and I do not want to take names, but that was the worst time of my life. I had good people there, I had not so good people there. I had people who had talked behind my backs, I had people who had spread rumors about me. There were people who had complained about me, saying I was a mental patient, because I was going through a lot of hardship at that point of time mentally. I was away from my family for the first time in my life. I was living alone in the hostel, and I know it's not a big deal for a lot of people. So a lot of you guys have lived in hostels. You live alone and you're okay with it. But for me, it was a very, very difficult time. I was in I started my relationship at that point of time, and I was away from this person. I was away from my family, and I have been a very pampered child since childhood. Pampered in the sense, my family has always been very protective and very caring about me. So I was very alone, and I did try my best to befriend people. I did try my best to make friends there. I'm sorry. But somehow maybe people didn't find me interesting enough, or people found me too rebellious maybe, or people found me not among the popular, or people found me easier to just throw away like that. I had a lot of people who took advantage of me at that point of time. They took advantage of my friendship or my behavior towards them, because I've always been very modest. I never had any bitter feelings towards anyone. I saw a lot of fights. I saw a lot of politics, and I was always the one who I would try and go talk to everyone, because I didn't want anyone to feel alone. And I feel very cheated, because there was no one to talk to me during those years, and people would laugh and talk about things which are cool or which were going good, or maybe studies and stuff like that, but they never really checked upon me. I was going through a very tough time, and so anyway, I pushed myself, and I went ahead and I completed my degree, and I got placed in a reputed organization, and I thought it was all okay, because I thought it was all about the result. I thought it was all about being successful and just getting what you wished. So once I got placed, I was kind of happy about it. I thought maybe this is the chance that I could go out of this place, and I would start my life anew and make my dreams come true, whatever I had. But unfortunately, things didn't work out that well. I was not made for the work. I was not made for the job. And very honestly, I didn't have any support at that point of time from people around me, people who were colleagues, or I didn't find any support of any kind. The work was completely wrong for me. And I met with an accident, And after that, I had that accident. It was not something major, but it was a small accident that happened, and I was hospitalized. And I went home, and I was at home for a month or so, resting because I had injured my leg, left leg. And at that point of time, I just thought about I could not go on with the work, and I left the work in between. Like, it wasn't even a formal resignation from something. I just left it because I was a mess, not just physically but also mentally. I would come home from my work and I would cry for hours without any reason. I would just cry. I would sit at bed and cry. I would switch off all the lights. I'll pull all the curtains inside and I'll just cry. That's how the state of mind was. And I just left my job just like that. And I told the organization I had nothing more to give in as an employee, and better than wasting the resources on me, I thought it was better that they picked up someone else who was well deserved and who fit in that environment. And so I left it. After I left my job, since it was a very impromptu, very impulsive, I could not find a job that easily. I was trying very hard to get a job for myself, but I couldn't. At that point of time, I would say I was very privileged to have the support of my family. So it's not that they abandoned me. They were always there for me and they were taking care of me. So financially, I didn't have any issue, and I think I'm very privileged. I would never say I deserve it. I said I'm very privileged about that. So after that, that's the time when I started putting my energy into blogging and all this, because I felt I always had a love for reading and writing, and I thought that this was, I didn't even think about it as a profession. I didn't think about it as some way of earning money or some way of getting things. I just started it off because I could channel my inner sorrow to something, and that gave me so much happiness and satisfaction that I started it off, that it just took off from there. But I was still under depression. I would still cry. There were still times when people around me wouldn't understand what's going on with me. I think the only people who helped me at that point of time was my immediate family. That's my parents, my sibling, and also my boyfriend. And they were the only people who would check up on me and who would communicate with me on a regular basis and ask me about, everything that's going on. And what's so I can say from my experiences, people hide their depression very easily. It's very easy to layer it with a smile and say everything is okay. We open up only when we think somebody is very near to understanding what we are going through. And I would say one thing through everything that happened is that I had no friends who would check up on me. Very honestly. No one. All the friends that I had all through my life, nobody really checked up on me. So that's because I think most of the people think everybody's going on with their lives, and you know how it is. People just think in that way. And friendships change. Honestly, they do. People change, people grow, or people don't. Maybe they go reverse and they end up being even worse than what they were. So I didn't have friends checking up on me. Nobody asked me how I felt. I was going through a lot of things, but everybody was like, okay, find a new job, you'll be okay, things like that. I would not really talk about my depression, but even when I said, I was not really, I'm okay, but it nobody really looks into you that way. So firstly, there are two kinds of people in the world. Some people who completely shun away the whole idea of depression or having mental health issues or things like that. And secondly, there are people who know things but they don't really care. And I don't know whom I came across. I think my relationships changed a lot with people during that time. At least after that. The aftermath was that when I overcame depression, firstly, I would say I was not on medicines. I was on the verge of taking medical help, but Thankfully, when I started blogging, my entire energy, my entire focus started going that side, and it really helped me put off everything else. But what I want to say is, depression isn't that easy. It's not simple. It's not like somebody just comes to you and say, oh, I'm feeling like depressed, I've been in depression since months now, and please help me. It's not easy to ask for help. You know why? Because we as human beings, when we grow up as adults, we think it's our responsibility to take care of ourselves. Even if we are living with parents, or we are living with friends, we are living with family, someone, or your maybe your better half, or your someone who loves you, you always think that the sole responsibility of taking care of your mental health is yours. When you're depressed, you don't have any emotion inside you. When I was depressed, I did not feel angry. I just felt emptiness. It was like, I'm still shivering from the thought, because I don't like to go to that place. I'm vocal about it, but I don't like to talk about my journey, because it puts me in that memories and I start shivering, and it is still happening. My shoulders are shivering now. What happens is, you feel like you're in a well, like you're falling in a well or somewhere deep down in a valley, and you're just falling and falling and falling, and you're not able to pull yourself up. You are just, it's a feeling like nothing else. It's like feeling nothing. Like your body, your mind, your heart doesn't have any feeling. You're deprived of any emotions. And depression is that. Suicide is not about anybody wanting death. I don't think anybody wants to kill themselves. I think when in depression people are suicidal, that the reason is being they are unable to understand what is wrong with them. Even when there's a psychologist or a doctor who comes up and says, okay, you have depression, you should take these medicines. People can't fathom that thought. They can't really digest the matter, that they're not able to take care of themselves. They're not able to take care of the one thing we are supposed to take care of, that is our brains, our minds. And it's really difficult, because you feel that you have grown up as an adult, you're earning, and you are still not able to take care of that one thing, and you feel like a failure. I mean, you may have other failures in your life. So you may have failures in your career, you have failed relationships, you may have failures in things. But when you are depressed, or you are having a mental health issue, you feel like you are a failure yourself. You feel like you have failed in taking care of yourself. And having suicidal thoughts doesn't mean that the person is a coward and doesn't want to live and just wants to go ahead and kill themselves. It's not that easy. Having suicidal thoughts is more about killing something inside them that can heal themselves and make everything feel okay. The reason why people feel suicidal, at least in my case, I don't know about what happened in the actor's case or any other suicide cases that happened around India or the world. What I can say about my situation was that when I felt like, suicidal, I felt like there was something inside me. I wanted to kill that. And by killing that only, I could be at peace. It's not that I wanted to kill myself. It was something like, it's almost like when you have a very bad stomachache, and you feel, and it's like a really bad stomachache, so your brain is not working, you just like something, just get rid of this thing, just get rid of this pain, and if you get rid of it, I'll be okay. You know what, that is how suicidal feelings work. A person is suicidal not because he wants to kill themselves or end their lives, because nobody really wants to do that. It can be any age group. You can be 15, you can be 50. It is all about when a person is in depression and has suicidal thoughts, it's more to do with killing something inside them, the pain that is causing. You want to kill that pain in order to be at peace. And I think that is where people don't really understand depression or suicide or suicidal thoughts during a mental health issue. I won't take names, but I've had people around me who had mental health issues as well, and who had treatments, who had thought about suicide and things like that. And I'll tell you one thing: stop being judgmental. Stop judging people. Start listening And before you put up any social media post about saying, please call me, this is my number, I'm always there for you, stop doing that. Firstly, stop judging people who have mental health issues. I've seen people make more fun about people with that issue rather than helping them out. And you know what? If you have a friend you haven't called in a while, maybe a few years or months, go ahead and just call that person and ask how that person is. You never know what makes up a person's life. You don't really know. Maybe a call and saying, I really miss you, I wish you are good, I really miss you during that time, it makes such a big difference. And especially for a person who is facing mental health issues, it can make such a big deal. Just listening and not giving any opinions or advices, saying, you know what, go ahead, feel happy, you know what, go ahead, feel positive. It's not that easy. It's not a switch. You can't switch it on and off when you want. It is a very difficult state of mind. In order to come out from that, it takes a lot. For some people are able to do, some people are not, unfortunately, and some people are not able to see that. They are not able to see the fact that killing something inside themselves, that won't heal it. You will have to push yourself in a completely different direction, at least from your mind point of view, your heart point of view. Suicidal thoughts is a very, very difficult place. It's a very difficult state of mind. Please do not make jokes about it. Please do not bitch around someone's back saying, this girl is a mental person, like she really has mental issues because she cries a lot. Trust me, I've had it. Trust me, I did not react to it when that happened to me. Trust me, I didn't even talk to that person about it. But the amount of poison it fills inside you, it's difficult to get out of it. My funda is very clear. If I feel somebody does not appreciate me now, at this point of time of my life, I cut them off. I'm not going to waste my energy, time and mind into regretting things, because I'm a better person than that. I'm not going to go ahead and bitch about that person, no, because I'm better than that. I may talk to my very close ones about that situation or that person, but I'd rather cut them off. I really don't care. And when you lose my friendship, you know you really don't matter in my life anymore. So my whole point of talking about this video was to tell you guys what really depression or suicidal thoughts feel like. Again, depression is not about being coward, or suicide is not about being coward. It is a very difficult state, and when somebody dies of suicide, it's an unfortunate thing that that person could not see what was in store for him or her in the future. So, and it's a difficult part. Whenever you see any kind of failure, any kind of isolation, I've been isolated all my life. I've been isolated by people. Even now, if somebody isolates me, these things happen. It affects your mental health. You know what? Start thinking the best person you have around is yourself. It is important. I will never say a person going through depression or who died of suicide is a coward. He is not. He was just an unfortunate casualty that happened because of it all. Or maybe that person did not see, or maybe was in a very, very bad condition mentally. Please do not make jokes about mental health. There are always going to be bullies around you. There are always going to be people who are going to isolate you. There are going to be people who have changed their behaviors over the years, and people who do not really care about you at all. But your worth is not dependent on anything else than what you think of yourself. It is not dependent on anything else. It's not even dependent on what your family thinks about you. You have to free yourself from that, and being a person who faced this, what I would only say is nothing can get you out of it unless you do it yourself. Whatever happened in the whole situation, at the end of the day, no matter how much we try to get clues or receipts, we will never really know what happened. We will never really know what were his last thoughts. And all I can say is this is all a big lesson for us to understand the importance of mental health in our society and in our lives. It is not about taking up your phone and calling people. I've seen a lot of big people, celebrities, right, all that stuff. It's not even about that. It's all about being kind to everyone around you, everyone whom you're coming across in everyday life, because you really don't know who's suffering what. This whole situation that happened is going to last for a few days or a weeks or a month, and then it's all going to vanish and people are going to forget about it. What is going to stay is the fact that this happened, and we will have to take some lessons. Do not be friendly for the sake of it. Be kind to every freaking person you come across. You really never know what people are suffering around. People are suffering failures in their careers, they're suffering from financial difficulties, they're going through that, they're going through broken relationships, and everything messes up our heads. But please, another thing is, depression is not a word to play with. It isn't that everybody around us is depressed. Very specific people will go through this because of maybe their mental strength, or maybe how they've been brought up, or maybe there can be any reason. Be kind to everyone around you. You don't need to call people. Just be kind whenever you are with that person or with anyone around you. Maybe you're in a group. Please don't be bitchy. Please don't be wrongful to anyone. Please don't hurt anyone on their faces. Don't do that. I know these things sound very idealistic, but these are the truths. I feel like if people around me would have been a little bit kinder, maybe would have been a little bit friendly, a lot of things could have not happened with me. But well, it happened, and I really can't shun away that part of my life, and I really don't. I am very, very vocal about mental health issue. Whether people judge me for that, it's completely on them. I have channelized it into my work, but yeah, I won't say my work does not give me stress anymore. It does, and things do come back to you. Also, I did suffer through a lot of panic attacks while I was facing depression. It was a horrible thing that happened. No human being deserves it. Again, the whole matter of industry bullying and your opportunities being stopped happens. As they say, you have to know how to handle your plan B and not plan A, because we wish things were in a certain way, but things are not. The problem is, as he said in his last film, people always plan about what they will do when they have success, but they don't really know what to do if they face failure. So I won't say be prepared for it, but don't always expect that whatever you're doing in your life, you're going to achieve it in one go. Don't expect that things will always run smoothly. There will be a lot of hurdles, and maybe after the hurdles, when you start doing something, it will take a very, very long time to achieve whatever you wish for, and it's not easy. If you have a few loved ones beside you, it helps. It does. But please, at the end of the day, it's your mental health, it's your mind. You will have to take care of it. Also, I would say that don't push yourself away from taking medical assistance. Numbers and all, I know a lot of people are saying, what is the point of talking to strangers? But helpline numbers are not to be talked just like that. I was fortunate enough that my story was put up by a very well-known foundation, and once it was, I used to get a lot of people messaging me about their mental health issues, and I never really said no to anyone. I would try to help them to my best ability, but at the end of the day, I'm not certified, I'm not a medical person, I'm not somebody certified to take care of it. I can only talk about my experience and say what I did. But please, if you are a human being first, be kind to everyone whom you're coming around. It's okay to gossip sometimes, to bitch sometimes. Okay, everybody does it, but be in control. And do not make anybody feel isolated. I think that's the worst feeling anybody can get. Being isolated by a whole group of people or a whole fraternity is very, very tough. you may say, he had money, you have jobs, why are you so bothered, you should have changed your course of career. It's not that easy. You know why? Because when you're in a right state of mind, when you are at least okay, you can think about those things. But when a person is depressed, he or she doesn't have an option. Those things don't even come to his mind because that person doesn't even know what is going on with him or her. It's so difficult to understand or comprehend what is going on. So please be kind to everyone, and I will be listing down a few helpline numbers that can be spread across. No, it is not for just calling whenever or whoever is depressed. And please stop sharing pictures of the dead. I was horrified to see that. No human being deserves this. You cannot put people's pictures of their death online and circulate it. That is the lowest you can get. Are we only blaming media? Well, if media put it out, why are people circulating it on social media? I mean, has to be one of the most disgusting things I've come across, when you can't even let a person die in peace. Please do not circulate pictures of any person, whether the person is celebrity or not. You are not supposed to spread pictures like that. You can't. It's not even culturally right. It's not even right in any culture, any religion, anything. You can't. So all I have to say is, take care of yourself and be strong during these tough times. It's a time where we have to understand and realize how important our own health is, our own mental health is, our physical health is. So you got to treat yourself well first before treating others also. Start treating yourself well. Self-care is the first step, and before starting to ask strangers to call you up, start at your home and start taking care of the people around you first before asking anyone else. So that's it. I would sign off now, and I hope I could bring some kind of insight to the whole thing. My respects and condolences to everyone who has gone through this in the past or even right now. So all we can do is just be together and fight this feeling of not being understood and not being listened to. So take care and bye.